I'm not a neuroscientist, so I'm going to say probably for all of that just because I don't know.
And I am not as well.
Welcome to the Entrepreneur Experience. I'm your co-host, Coach Joe with ActionCOACH Kansas City, and we have
the other co-host, Jared Taylor with JT Visuals, and it's spelled without the I because there's more than meets the eye. Everyone's always like, there's a difference, and there was an initial disruption when Gary Vee started his company because
he continues to disrupt.
Yeah, he does. But what made him so different was they had the creative, how you make the content, because you need the media, paired with the advertising. And that was rare. Because usually you see like advertising agencies and digital marketers requesting for content for you to come up for yourself.
Yeah. Why can't you be both?
Or the opposite. Like we make content and we're really good at that, but you're going to have to go and find someone else to do the ads. And they're like, so you either need to go in-house or work with a company that has that in-house.
Yeah.
So it's both the same. So then I was like, what if we had a pool of like highly qualified partnerships that was as good as in-house, but it's not.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but what if you didn't have to hunt for your next client? What if there's a way that you could spend less than 3 hours per month, even as a busy entrepreneur, and start attracting your ideal clients so that they come to you rather than you have to always go to them? You could be the best of your industry, but we want to make you the best known. And you can get started on this for free on our website. Go to jtvisuals.com and look for our ideal client profile generator. We've trained AI to come up with who you should reach out to and who you need to become to be that go-to expert of your industry and city. So what are you waiting for? Go to jtvisuals.com. That's jtvsuals.com, jtvsuals.com, and get started today.
Hey guys, Coach Joe here. I know you had to put a pause on this podcast episode. However, I know I'm talking to entrepreneurs. Look, as an entrepreneur, you have highs and you have lows, and sometimes you have more lows than you do highs. So if you're just starting out in business or you've been around for a while, I want to encourage you to get a coach. Think about our firm for coaching if you need guidance on how to establish a firm foundation for your business. Your business may be chaotic right now. Well, let's organize that. You might be struggling with getting qualified leads. Let's help walk you through and coach you through those challenging moments. This is a thing. No matter how bad or good you are, everyone needs a coach. Even the best professional athletes have a coach until the day that they retire. So if your business is supposed to give you the life that you want, you have to make sure you're getting the best guidance. And you can't figure everything out on your own because you only know as much as you only know. So get a coach. Really think about getting my online courses. There should be a link somewhere around this podcast where you can click on it and have access to my online courses. Or if you want to talk to one of our coaches and see if we're the right fit for you, by all means, reach out. Stay strong.
And so I bought a domain called inhouseteams.com. It existed. And I was like, dude. So that could be like the overarching brand, in-house teams, if you need someone that knows how to work well with the other things.
Yeah.
So it's like going in-house without actually going in-house.
I like that. I mean, whatever works for you. I just think that if you can create people just to stop here for all those things, whether you do it in-house truly or in-house through a partner.
Because that's where like when we dive in and really get into podcasting, there's a world out there that's like some untapped and some people have found like not like 6-figure, not 7, but 8 figures.
9.
8 or 9 or 10. Like it's crazy what people are doing and they're going around coaching people on podcasting. So like once you get into that, it's just so deep.
Yeah.
It runs so deep that if we were good at this one thing, it's like we're the vitamin D focused in and we can have our niche and then everything else can be an outsource. But I always like some sort of a cut or something. So that's where like the referral partnerships and strategic and network of really agreeable people could really work out.
Yeah.
Because it like when we're setting up systems and coaching with you and stuff, it's like just the whole process is shaken and it's not as streamlined the more that I try to expand. We can truly say we're like the most excellent at podcasting, like here in this area.
If there's anything that you're really good at, and your team will probably be like, oh yeah, is your ability to keep shifting until you find what works. And then from there, when something shifts, you keep shifting. You know?
And I'm always trying new things still, but it's like,
well, a lot of people think that when you build a business and it's like, okay, I've arrived. No. At a certain point, your business is going to demand to change, whether it's the trends or the technology or whatever. I mean, look what AI is doing to disrupt everything, right? The ones who change, great. There's a video of a professor yelling at his students, I hate AI, and if I catch AI on your paper,
yeah.
And I'm like, poor guy. He's not going to have a job in 2 years.
Yeah. He's going to get run over by the tsunami that's coming.
Entrepreneurs who are willing to consistently shift no matter how hard it is or how uncomfortable. You know, I've watched, 5 phases of your business.
That's it?
Remember this?
I'm kidding.
Well, 5 that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Fastimonials, that's how we started.
Yeah. Those are still awesome, and we've kind of done some other testimonials still, but it's like, I feel like the gateway, like before we want to work with anybody, we want like a retainer of the longer play because we want to know they're going to last, it's going to be good, the results are focused on good results rather than just quick fixes.
Yep.
So that's why I'm like, I'll open up. We can run websites. We can do SEO. We can, all this stuff, social media. We can do all of that, but it has to be after you've committed to doing a podcast so we can really get to know your brand and have a longer term net set up so you're not going to like mess it up. So that's the way I've been expanding.
So I'm gonna start looking for office space where there's something like this for you.
Dude, okay, let's go.
And we'll figure it out.
I want to have a room where we can like have seminars, but also record really well.
Oh yeah,
with a live audience. And whoever owns the building, like that's why I want to own one. Is then you have the sales for the tickets too, and you can make money back for your podcast or for whatever it is directly with that. Okay, do you need to spit?
Yeah, I do. That gum is so good.
Neurogum, not a sponsor.
Neurogum.
But
I wish they would.
could.
If you hear us, Neurogum, in about 2 years from now, we're going to be big. And you're going to want us to say your name on this podcast.
It could happen overnight like
I know
that.
It could, huh?
I did see an increase. It was significantly more than our average. One insight is that like Facebook has the least amount of views on videos, but they get the most followers.
Yeah. Every platform.
And so it feels like vanity. Like it just doesn't
it's like
feel
vanity
right.
metrics, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing too. Like Meta is becoming so much more relevant now to marketing.
Yeah, they are.
Especially for home service businesses. Like a lot of my clients that do home service business, if they're on Meta and doing ads, and if they like put the right before and after pictures or the right just description, the right anything, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy, they're getting jobs on Meta. Should I say Facebook or Meta?
Meta.
Facebook /
direct platform
Meta.
now. This is interesting. So just real quick.
I like interesting.
So if we go to our podcast, like this is why I like doing consistent content. Normally on TikTok, we're hitting 100 views to 200 views per video. But recently, there's been some that's popping near 1,000. And those ones have a common thing we're talking about. That is pricing.
Oh.
So what that's telling me is there's people out there that just need help with pricing stuff.
Okay.
And so that could help us like give back to content that we're seeing is good and,
Yeah.
And that could be an angle for some of the coaching too. Is like, I mean, I had that really awesome session and we got pricing down for us.
Yeah.
And so
you're
I think
pretty on
that's
point now with that pricing.
Yeah.
It's kind of brought clarity to everything that comes in and goes out and what you keep. And also value. Like it's forced you to see yourself as something a little bit more valuable. Which
and figuring out like the line of like where do people say no and where do people say yes.
Yeah.
Based on who I think I want to reach or who,
Well, if the right people are saying no, then you want to increase your value so that they eventually say yes.
Yeah.
Right? So I like those type of metrics because it's like you can either accept what's going on or you can literally shift your mindset and change what you think you know to meet the demands of value from the right the right clients.
I had a strategy session with someone today that was like, they saw that value, but they wanted to revert back to like the price was hard. And then I was just communicating, well, is there ever really a right time? Like as starting a business or brands, like is it good to take the risk first to help get you to your goals? Like, do you think that social media would help you get to that goal faster than the thing that you're waiting on anyways?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And so now they're planning on it.
Historically, though, the end of the year is when most people start making their plans for quarter one and start pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
Like for coaching, I typically get the majority of my clients in the wintertime. Because they have a minute, they're stressed, they're like, oh crap, like I got to do something. So
that's cool. And if you think about January, what comes with January?
Like a new year, new me.
Yes,
right?
New Year resolution. It's time to like budgets have reset on a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if you haven't like created awareness for your business to make it a goal for someone to make it part of their budget, that's what's funny is like business owners and organizations, they make up the budget. Of course, it's math, but like you can.
If you don't make up a budget, you still have a budget. It's what you're spending.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So it's like, who's in control of that? So put it in there, and there it is.
Yep, for sure.
If you really think this will help, there it is.
Yep.
And then January comes, and it's like, hey, let's go.
Well, I think something that got me one time thinking about where my investments are going is when you actually look at where you're actually spending your money right now. I'm ashamed to say, with the first business that actually did well, my duct cleaning business, about $2,000 a month was going out towards fast food.
Oh, okay.
And
what was your thinking, though?
Well, my thinking was, well, I got to market. I got to do all these things. I wanted to join a BNI, but my excuse was, oh, it's $1,000 for the year, right? And she was like, well, if BNI can get you one new client a quarter, what's your average dollar sell? XYZ. Great. How much of that do you actually keep? What's your gross profit margins? I don't know. Okay, great. Your next coaching action step is to figure out your right.
Okay.
So she walked
so
me
you go
through
until
it.
There's like a roadblock.
There's a roadblock, and then it's like, oh shoot, if I had 4 new clients a year at minimum, and my average dollar sell is $2,000, that's $8,000. What's $1,000 for that year for $8,000? She's like, if I guaranteed you that you give me 1,000 and I'd give you 8, wouldn't you go for it? Yeah. She's like, but I'm confident you're going to get more than just one job a quarter, which she was right.
Huh.
You know, so sometimes just putting it.
So that's why the trades do really well in those groups.
Well, then secondly, I was like, well, I don't have that $1,000 even if I wanted to invest it now. We looked at it. She's like, well, you're spending $2,000 on fast food. I hate you, coach, but I love you too. Yeah, because I loved my fast food.
Was it just for you, or was it at least for meetings?
Just me.
Oh,
I was like, instead of cooking and making lunch.
Did you convince yourself at least that like? I'm trying to understand your motive.
Well,
which is like, did it save time? Like, was it like?
Well,
what was it supposed to do?
I could always wake up earlier, but the thing is I just was lazy. I didn't prioritize just cooking or. And the thing is, I opened up my refrigerator that day and I was like, "There's plenty of food that I could have packed right here." Huh. So it wasn't that we didn't have it or waste time. It was just my mindset around prioritizing making my food for my lunch. So I started doing that, and I had some setbacks, but. The thing is I didn't think I was spending $2,000 on average a month. I mean, some months was 15, some was a little over 2. What I did was it was those little $20 like here for breakfast, $20 for lunch. Yeah. Before I come home, another $20. That's $90 right there in one day.
Did you ever have that feeling like when you spend it too, of like?
No, because it was $20.
Okay,
$20 a pop. So you don't think this
for
is
a
all
soda?
added up.
I'm kidding.
No, for like a burger and a soda and some fries.
Yeah.
So when I went out to do, like if I had to go out and get fast food because I ate my lunch, I'm so hungry, I would just buy like just the burger. That went from a $20 meal down to like $7 or $8.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because there's no way to supersize it if you don't have fries and a drink. Right?
Plus water's better for you?
Yep. And I got to the point where I was so used to doing that I would get 2 burgers and a fry and a drink. So it was not just a matter of packing my food. It was also, okay, if I did want to go out to get something to eat so I don't relapse, just get the burger, just one burger, right? Like just controlling yourself. So that was my journey on budgeting.
Yeah.
And making sure. So to answer your point, like if you have clients who are like, well, I don't know, it's like, okay, let's walk through this with you.
And you didn't even realize that until you had set yourself up into a specific environment.
Absolutely.
So when you listen to this podcast, every time you listen, it fuels your tenacity.
Yes.
Meaning that you are more likely to be someone that will make it through or have already made it through and wanting to do another venture or something or give advice and help.
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, you should always work on your mindset and upgrade it, right? And so watching a podcast like this or listening to it, amongst other things, is a great way to reshift your focus towards the right direction of thinking. Because when it comes to business, let's face it, we didn't start a business because we're an expert at many things. We started a business for a few reasons. Number one, we're probably unemployable. We have too many opinions about how others should run their business. We have bigger dreams than most people, right? Now, I'm not saying if you're watching and you're highly educated and you are an expert, look, that's fine. I'm just saying for the majority of entrepreneurs, we start a venture of entrepreneurship because we're not like everybody else. We have higher goals, higher dreams. We want something more for our family. And we realize we actually have a skill that's sellable. Let me try this thing, right? We're really good at taking risks.
Yeah.
So it's a lonely road because the majority of people want safety. They want security.
Yeah.
And so that's why most people, even with big dreams, and they're even able to verbalize their dreams, they choose to stay safe in a job.
Yeah. Yeah. I've learned that like a lot of things are fractional. And so it feels lonely in certain areas to certain people. And then if you look at like the people who are closest with you, it can feel even more lonely or distancing because the ins and outs of everything.
Yeah.
And so it's like coming around to the other mindset of like, I don't have to be understood.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So if I'm doing it for the right reason, then it don't matter what anyone else thinks, or I don't really need their approvals, even though like I love the blessing of the people close to me. But it's like, dude, if this is good for people, it's good for me, and this is what I'm supposed to do and what I'm made to do, then I'm going to do it. And then usually people just come along afterwards.
Yep.
But it can feel lonely because you can't describe everything to it. And so it's nice to have like a co-host podcaster, a business coach, a partner, a friend. Like it's really nice to have someone who gets it. And that's what I love about this podcast. And I really hope that's helping a lot of other people feel like they're not alone too.
Yeah.
Not to be like sappy or whatever, but it's just.
Well, I think when you and I decided to start the entrepreneur experience, we sat down for a little bit and said, okay, what do we want to bring to our audience who are entrepreneurs? And we both had the same, we came down to the same conclusion. We just both articulate things differently.
Like I said espresso and you said
espresso wing.
Yeah. Okay.
We love espresso, by the way. Can you tell?
Yeah.
We said that we want people not to feel alone because entrepreneurs are very lonely, and everybody's experience is different. So that's why we call it the entrepreneur experience, because everybody's experience is different. You might be doing 9 figures, some might be doing 7, some might be struggling to make $100,000 a year in total revenue, right? And at that point, you're probably not even paying yourself.
And I'm coming out of like starting a business because of a podcast too. Like not only, but it was a high influence to starting my business. I did not feel capable. I didn't go to business school. Does that exist?
Do you know what my major in college was?
What?
Dropout.
Okay.
That was an amazing major, by the way. For me. I'm not saying for you. I'm not saying, because I have a sister who's a nurse. She's amazing. She had to go to school. My daughter wants to be a nurse. So I'm not dogging college.
Yeah.
I just knew for me.
And is it dropout or is it just not restarting or continuing?
Tomatoes, right?
Because you paid for it.
I actually, so that's my pickup line when it comes to like, not pickup line, sorry. That's my like intro line when I'm speaking in public.
Yeah.
My major was dropout.
Oh,
So it's just a creative way to say, I just dropped out of school and I didn't want to come back. Now, am I opposed to going back to further my education? Probably when I'm established and I have some things to do and there's something that actually interests me.
Yeah,
but I don't
that
think
you have to go to college for, because there's so much information out there.
There is. Or should I just take some courses to just better my knowledge? I'm all for that. But yeah, I saved like 6 years of my life to just start businesses, and I failed my first 8. So I was like, cool. If I went to college and then failed it, then I wouldn't be here right now. I'd still be figuring out how to run my businesses.
And then the 9th was the duct.
Yeah, the duct and chimney cleaning that I
It was chimney.
duct and
chimney.
So
Dude, I need you to look
duct
at our
cleaning.
chimney.
That you're not the first one to ask me out here. I did air duct cleaning, driveway cleanings, and chimney cleanings. But if there was something that my coach actually helped me understand from the very beginning, was shifting my environment in my mind and physically.
Okay, which one do we unpack first?
Well, your mind's first, I think.
Okay. Could your physical impact your mind?
Probably. Look, I'm not a neuroscientist, so I'm going to say probably for all of that, just because I don't know.
And I am not as well. But we have neurogum, so that helps.
Yeah, right. However, I do know one starts before the other typically.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody starts to change their physical environment, like start working out, start eating healthy, start changing their friendships, is it a shift in mindset first that motivates them to do that? Or does that action shift the mindset into wanting more of it?
You know what?
So
from my experience,
what came first, chicken and egg, right?
But from my experience, it's like it's actually a dissatisfaction that comes first of the physical.
I think so.
Or the mental.
I think so.
Yeah, and then I want to do something to change, and it's whatever like the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah,
is like, oh man, like. It's funny. It's kind of like dating. Like I thought this before I got married.
It's so long since I've dated, bro.
I know, but I thought this before I got married. It was like, how do I expect to meet someone awesome if I'm not out there in places? So I had to I was like, what are the kind of women I like? I want someone that likes coffee. So should I go to Starbucks and just be seen there? And like maybe someone like I'm working from there or something.
Yeah.
And, so I thought about those things and I wanted a godly woman, and so then it was like church, but like
you got yourself a godly woman.
So I got that, and she loves coffee too.
And she loves coffee.
Yep.
I'm working on my wife to like coffee better, but she's amazing and she's godly.
Does she like tea?
No, she likes coffee, but definitely not as much as I do. I mean, I can espresso all day, and she'll just do 2 a.m. That's it. So she works in the office with me. Like when she comes back from working at the school where our kids go to, I'm like, "You want an espresso?" She's like, "I've already had mine."
I feel like we're not the ones that are there. We're the ones that are broken, and they're the ones that are good. They're
good. You're probably right.
We need to come to there.
But I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna. When it comes to coffee, I'll stay here. I like what I'm
just stubborn, so
stubborn.
I'm like, I probably shouldn't.
Stubbornness is not a bad thing, especially for entrepreneurs. I always tell people success in business is doing the right things over and over again and being too stupid or stubborn to quit.
Isn't that sometimes insanity?
Yes.
But it's like, how do you know?
It's the right insanity.
And there's this like decision that has to happen when you're doing that. Repetitive task in that decision is, am I supposed to push or pivot? And that is like one of the hardest
What about
decisions.
push and pivot?
Dude.
You're pivoting while you're pushing. Boom.
That's awesome.
Yeah. This is my personal opinion. I don't want to take my foot off the gas. Now, I could do things differently. I could do things strategically so I'm not always overwhelmed and not present at home. But I'm never going to take my foot off that pedal.
So long as it's a straightaway, no one's in the way.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, if people get in the way, then it like depends on who.
It depends on who. But again, I mean, my business is not a risky business. I'm a business coach. I also have a few other businesses on the side that bring in passive income. Why would I take my foot off the gas? I'm building right now.
So there's a certain amount of input.
Yeah. But I could do it differently. I mean, I don't always have to be physically present at the job site to be able to push. I push in different ways now. I push in quality control. I push in setting my expectations, making them extremely clear, getting the right people in place, training them, making sure our systems are adequate and consistent with what I want, and that the systems are very articulate on the step-by-step processes for everything. This way, I don't become the system, and the foot on the gas isn't just me. The foot on the gas is just making sure if people are following the system and getting the right managers in place to do that.
And what we were talking about earlier, in this episode on the long intro was like that. I think that's why I feel like I really like diving into the podcasting as our niche because we're super scalable there.
Yeah.
And scalability is my biggest concern in like a neutral way, not like concern as negative, but like concern as negative and positive of like, if we didn't do this, what would happen? But if we keep doing it, what could happen? And it's like, it's just so streamlined now. And it's so good. And, you know, most people want to quit when they get to the consistency phase because it gets boring.
Yeah.
Right?
So we've been doing this podcast, what, 3 years now?
Oh, man.
2.5 years? I think the reason why you and I have never thought about quitting is because we're entrepreneurs and we've already set the bar straight for not quitting in our business.
It's fun too.
It's fun. I love giving value to people.
Yeah.
And starting to make a little bit of money doing it is not always a bad thing.
Yeah.
Well, in this, I think I've changed my mind already about what comes first. I think it's your mind, right? The dissatisfaction is it's an emotional thing. It derives from your emotions and your feelings when you're dissatisfied about your current position. Now, you could be dissatisfied in a very comfortable financial position because once you grow to a certain point, the minute you stay there too long, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're growth-minded, if you're all that, you can't stay stagnant. It's one of those things. It's like what the book said in Atomic Habits. The minute you decide to coast, your soul starts to die. Your purpose is gone. So if you're anything like me, I'm an avid entrepreneur. I like to arrive, enjoy it for a minute, but I know I'm going to push again. I know I want more.
Once the top or if those spinny plates, if you think of those, it's on the stick and you're spinning it. And once it's going, you don't have to try to spin it as much.
Yeah.
It's like maintenance mode. So now
but you still have to push it a little bit
for consistency to keep it going. But you can grab another one. You could set the stick down or something. Like, I don't know how deep this analogy can go, but you can grab like 7 plates by then, and as long as they're all going, you can still do it. But then the best kind of system is to hire other people who can spin it for you and with you, and then you could have
or
like
at least
a million.
Watch it spinning and give it the taps that it needs. That way you're not having to be there. Dissatisfaction is very normal for seasons of business. Right, you go to the top, and you've experienced this. You hit a high, and now you want to break through the ceiling. You've been at this high for a minute. It's like, okay, I want more now. I want to keep going. So the dissatisfaction is always going to show up, even if you're in a good financial situation, or if you're in a bad one, you're going to have a lot of dissatisfaction. Now, that's the emotional component to it, right? The vision is a second emotional component. It's like, well, let's go back to what you originally wanted, right?
What do you mean by vision is emotional?
The vision you have for an ideal life is always an emotional component. You don't have it. There's a reason why you want it. It's usually tied to experiences or trauma, right? Dissatisfaction is too.
Yeah.
So those are 2 emotional components. So you have your dissatisfaction, then you have your vision, then you have to tell yourself, okay, what's the next logical step I got to take? That's logical now. So you need an emotional component. You need a logical component, which is, okay, plan. Do I need to learn? One of the things that is true for every level of upgrade in entrepreneurship is your environment. You have to shift your environment. Now, there's 2 environments to shift that I found. Your mental environment, what you allow in, who you allow to talk to, the books you read, the doom scrolling that you shouldn't be doing, all that is your mental environment.
What about gloom scrolling?
Gloom scrolling. Doom and
It's all
gloom.
good stuff.
Yeah. And then secondly is your physical environment, right? Your habits have a lot to do with how far you're willing to take your success. Let me give you an idea. You could be an amazing entrepreneur, but if you're struggling with, let's just say, gluttony, and your body's showing.
Wait, you can't talk about that. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna talk about that.
It's just that like hot topic.
It's one of those things. So those habits will start to affect the decisions you make for your business because you have not conquered something yet. Right? That's why you see a lot of billionaires. They are super fit.
Okay, so we're onto something here. If I can interject, like you challenged me with one of the meetings that we've had, and I don't know if you know it, but it was like, write down like the things for like personal or business or whatever it is. It's blank page. Write down those things that you know that like if you just did this, things would be better in 2026. And it didn't take me long. I know exactly what it is, and I didn't even write a bunch. I'm very like short. and direct sometimes.
It's probably better.
Sometimes not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I beat around the bush a lot.
It depends.
Because it's fun.
Am I in trouble with my wife?
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to dance around a bush.
Yeah.
But I wrote down.
I'm visual. Dancing around him. All right. Yes, back on.
I remember because I'm thinking of it visually. Is I wrote down exercise. Like if I can do more specifically though, because it's got to be my way. I'm a learner-led person.
Yeah.
If I am mentally decided, but just now have to do it by putting it on a calendar or whatever, like to lead myself towards it, then I know that I can gateway myself into something greater and develop a micro habit that has a high impact.
Yep.
And that would be just cardio. So I used to, like a lot of people are like, running, they're so judgmental about it. But the thing I actually like about running is it's direct. It's direct to that pain, to that cardio, to that the muscle. Like I want to be able to outrun the zombies when that apocalypse happens. Whatever it is. Or just a dog down the street.
Do you believe in the apocalypse?
Well, it just means end time, right?
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, I'm saying that because one, you challenged me for that, but for two, that means I'll have to change my environment, which requires an action to get there. And now I'm saying it out loud on a podcast, so it gets clipped and relates to a bunch of the runner guys, and now I'm going to get a bunch of DMs.
So in a year from now, check out his Facebook. Make sure he's buff and fit.
I don't care about like the buff and stuff. I don't know. Should I? I don't know, but I don't.
I think
it's just fit. I want to be fit, and I think that habit physically can change my mental.
The environment you have to shift to get into a healthy state of mind and physical being is typically what makes you just a better person in general.
Yeah.
For an example, if you typically wake up at 7 and your day just starts immediately when you wake up and you just keep going to the rest of the day, you're going to have to create an environment mentally to shift your habits and disciplines to wake up early to go to the gym before all that stuff starts. Right? So the process of micro habits and developing that turns you into who you're going to become when that happens, right? Your physical being is the result of the tiny habits you develop for that. And part of changing those habits is you have to change your environment. And then even, or change your habits. Environment, habits, all that kind of stuff.
Calendar environment.
Exactly. But what does that mean? Okay, why do you wake up at 7? Probably because you go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. Great. You got to go to bed at 9 now.
Wait, you're establishing 7 a.m. with 1?
I'm just saying an example. Why are you being triggered about this?
Because I wake up at 7.
Oh, shoot. Well,
but everyone else I talk to, like, it depends on who I'm with, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, no, dude, that's way early. And I'm
I don't know.
Oh, that's
my body wakes up at 4:30 every day.
So your body, do you set alarms?
No, not anymore.
Dude.
Look, this is how it started. My dad would wake me up every morning when I was a kid to read the Bible at about 4:30 or 5.
Okay.
I hated it. It became a habit. But then I got into a depressing slump a couple seasons of my life where I would wake up at 8 and I felt like crap. I had headaches. I had migraines. I don't know what it is, but sleeping in, I wake up with headaches and migraines. I don't know why. Then I started listening to successful people again, and a lot of them had something in common. They decided to wake up early as a ritual because it's like I get to dictate my day. Secondly, I have 5 kids. If I want any quiet or peace throughout the day, it has to be that early. Because the minute they wake up, you have kids, you know that.
Yep.
The minute they wake up, it's not that they decide to create chaos. It's just they have needs.
Dude, I have like a weird story about this. Is like normally my body just naturally wakes up at 7 a.m. or like right before. But I think that's because I had kids and I was forced into that.
Yeah.
But one day I got a taste of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I swear it was like God's voice. Like not like crazy audible,
Jared,
like because that would shake me. But like
arise, Jared.
It's that mental memory of my son's voice. I legit thought he was there.
Yeah.
He said, Dad.
I get those every once in a while. Yeah.
And then I go, huh? And I woke up and I felt awake and he wasn't there. And I was like, huh. no one else is awake? Okay. Well, I can't go back to sleep now. I feel awake.
Yeah.
Like I feel, sometimes you feel like if you oversleep, then it's worse.
Yeah.
And so if your body's ready to wake up, just wake up and go with it. And so
Yeah.
I did. And I went out there and I had like this nice sunrise time and
Yeah.
read the Bible. I wrote some AI songs with the Bible. And
That's
like,
pretty cool. I still use the AI app for the
Yeah.
songs. It's funny.
just to hear it in a different
Yeah.
way. I was just curious and let my
Yeah.
curiosity drive me. But it was still scripture was the lyrics. So it was kind of cool.
I had fun with it. I was like, I want a disco version of Psalms 23.
Yeah. And now I have this one. It's like, is it Psalms 23? Even though I walked through the valley of the darkest.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not
Dude,
want.
that was our like verse of the month in our business for a while. And I had that song stuck in my head. And it's like that. I made that the chorus. Was like, make this part the chorus.
Ooh.
It's like, even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not fear. It sounded like Mercy Me, if you know Mercy Me.
Yeah, I do.
But anyways, I had this great experience.
Yeah.
And that was a good taste of that, of waking up before the chaos.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sound very human coming up with excuses, and I'm self-aware I'm coming up with excuses right now, it's just not like, it doesn't feel like it's in the cards right now because of our less than 1-year-old. And
look,
But like I want to be intentional, and you're reminding me right now live on this podcast that you are in charge of your environment.
Exactly.
And that's new to me because environment, I'm thinking of it as it's already there.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is already there and you walk into it.
Yeah.
But I could be a thermostat instead of a thermometer.
So, boom, there we go. I think that is the best analogy. So I've been listening to a guy named Ed Milet. Really cool.
Okay.
I think he's a billionaire. If he's not, he's really, really up there.
Okay.
And he does a lot of public speaking, and he's a Christian, which I like because sometimes there's a lot of weird teaching out there when it comes to like mindset mastery and all that kind of stuff. I love how he puts, the logical and the science and God together. It really, I really like that. But anyways, he talked about your physical environment. The majority of it is made up by what you choose to do and who you choose to hang out with. However, there's elements out there that you just can't control. Somebody wants to flip you off while you're driving, can't control that, right? However, or like for example, in my industry, when I had a business, callbacks would come in. And I would just get so pissed, right? But I had to realize that as a leader, I need to be the thermostat. I have to control that environment, right?
Yeah.
So things get heated. What do I do to control it back to where it needs to be?
What do you do?
Right? Well, number one, don't be emotional. Or if you're that emotional, hold off and don't make a decision.
It's the man version, but I actually get that.
Yeah.
I can
don't be emotional.
That. Don't be emotional.
It's
okay,
not
I
that
can
easy.
do that.
You're going to be emotional.
Yeah.
It's how you respond to those emotions. I'll give you an example. This is something that most people can actually relate to. There are times where your team probably screws up so much, and I'm talking to you, entrepreneur, you probably just get this thought, I'm just going to fire everybody, start all over again. That's probably the stupidest thing to do. Right? But if you acted out on that emotion, then you're not the thermostat. So one time, there was so many callbacks that came in on one day, I literally just took the table and threw it.
Really?
In my office.
What kind of table was this?
It was a pretty decent table. But again, this is, I let things control the environment so long that I got really, really outraged. The good thing is nobody was there. That's probably why I did it.
This is real? Like you really threw a table, Joe?
I was so pissed off. Then as the technicians came in and the office staff came in for the team meeting, they saw me piss in my
Which
face.
business was this?
The duct and chimney cleaning.
Oh.
And I remember this day like it was yesterday. They would come in and they saw my face. They knew, oh, shoot, boss is going to be pretty mad. And then I was like, crap. If I tear them up, this can destroy a lot of things. Like their motivation to work well for me, right?
And at what point did you think that? Like when did you get to
throughout the process? But I was struggling.
20 minutes after, like
probably I don't know. I can't tell you. However, throughout my anger, I was thinking that, and I was fighting with, but they deserve me acting like this versus, hey, you're the thermostat. I remember that because Coach Carey told me you're the thermostat. So how do I take it from a 90-degree temperature down to 65 in controlled weather?
So you opened up your input. That's what happened.
Probably.
You allowed another environment to impact this environment that you're a thermostat for.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
So you're hearing that echo in your head, and if you're not getting the right input, which it's your choice to receive that. So like whatever you're scrolling, whatever you hit like on, like don't blame social media that it's all negative. That's actually a reflection of how you are because you're showing interest in that kind of content. If you go to all the entrepreneur experience videos on TikTok or like just for example, and you hit like, you're going
It's going to show you more of what you're looking at.
You're going to shoot. Yeah, you're going to see more of that.
So that's a good idea of what's called the reticular activating system. Every human has it. It's a scientific word. It's like a cortex back here. But the more you focus on something, the more you'll always see that very thing. So if you keep saying, I suck at this, I suck at that, I suck at this, your brain will show you every single area that you suck at that thing or more. It's the whole thing of where your energy where your focus goes, energy flows, or something like that, right? It's like that whole concept. But that's mental environment. So back to my story of the thing. Like I literally had to say, guys, can you go outside really quick? And I got on my knees and I prayed. It's like, God, you're gonna need to help me. I don't even think that I felt good. I just was like, well, I got to do the team meeting. I came in, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, I'm sorry, guys. These callbacks are probably my fault because I should have further trained you. So let's do this. I don't even know why I said that, but I prayed. I tried to shift the environment. That statement alone brought the temperature back to where it was, and everybody felt reprieve.
I bet you also gained a lot of credibility there.
I probably did. Nobody ever told me anything, but I mean, I saw their faces, and you know what they all did? They apologized. They took personal responsibility. Whereas if I came in hot, it would have probably been, but this happened, but that happened, but this happened.
True.
Like I set the tone for how the response was, and I'm happy to say I actually won that time. I feel like I did. Now, there's times I screwed it all up by overreacting and doing that. But again, that's like the physical environment that I had to create.
And that sounds like the push and pivot. Right?
Yeah.
You continued to push through, and then you also pivoted your method or the way you went about it.
But I didn't let go of the intensity. I said, guys, this is important. Like, we cannot be doing this. So let's go through it. Right? But I apologized. I said I should have trained you more. They knew that they screwed certain things up. But because I did that, I believe that it brought everybody down to, okay, I can reason with Joe. Like, he's not mad. I'm so glad they did not see me throwing that table. I put it back up before they got in, and I deleted the camera footage. I was so ashamed, honestly. I was like, that was way too far with my anger. So that's your mindset environment. Physical environment is also really, really important. So we talked about the working out, whatever that is, but who you hang out with, who you allow speaking into your life. I just did I don't know if you saw my social media, but yesterday I did a steak outing with all my clients that are 7 figures or more. So there's people upper 7, some 8 figures.
Okay, so I know that everyone in there, if you're watching this, start your podcast.
Start it but anyways, and when I'm saying 7 or 8 figures, it's the revenue that they bring in their business.
Yeah.
Now, when you're at that level, even if you're at a low 7 figure, it's a different mindset. Your conversations are different, right? And it was so cool to see just to hear the environment. Number one, everybody was cool. They weren't sitting here saying, can you do business with me, please? Can I do business with you? That wasn't the conversation. Was, hey, I'm struggling with this. What do you think? Or what are your habits around this? They were calling each other higher. It wasn't trying to get business. It was, what do you do to help people? I'm really, truly interested in you. I was like, man, this is what it's about. Your environment of people that call you higher and are experienced in some of the same areas of entrepreneurship you're in is also very important for you as an entrepreneur to be extremely successful in your business.
So is the 7 figure the humble way of saying the $1 Million Club?
Yeah. The $1 Million Revenue Club. Okay. I think the lowest person in there was like $3 million a year.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That's a good way to celebrate.
Yeah.
I mean, and like rub shoulders with...
Well, we went to an expensive steakhouse, and nobody once questioned if they could buy a steak for themselves. It was so cool. It's just a different way of thinking. And I will tell you, if you're 6 figures, find somebody higher than you in the 7 figures, because entrepreneurs are typically really good at wanting to help others out.
I've heard that like you should go like up. Like you need someone that's going to help you bring bring you up and you can really learn from them like a mentor. But at the same time, you should have someone below. And that's just lack of better words, you know. It's not like a character thing. It's just more of like the phase of accomplishment and stuff. And you're helping someone. And then that's the cycle of being like a developer and of people. And because you learn a lot when you get to practice the teaching of it.
This is, I mean, Brad Sugars has always said this in a lot of his podcasts and his quotes, but it's not something he made up. He just changed the way it was said. But it's like something along the lines of where you're going to be in 5 years is going to depend on the people you hang out with, the books you read, you know, the actions you take. Actually, that's directly Brad Sugar saying that. However, but I've heard many different, you know, Tony Robbins says the same thing in a slightly different way.
And some people say like, show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Bingo. Yeah. But it has everything to do with the environment you take, the environment you're around, what you put in your brain, and the decisions that you choose to make. The funny thing is the decisions you choose to make are typically influenced by what you're putting in your mind and the people or the things that you are around constantly.
Man, I love this. This is a good conversation. I like this one.
Amazing conversation.
I always feel so much better after doing a podcast. And it's just because there's only so, like the loneliness thing, like there's only so much. There's like a million things in my brain. And I can't even talk about all of it, but there's a point of like being able to counterintuitively listen even more, but also like be able to output more too. Just because when you say things out loud, sometimes you just need to know that you're crazy or not. And I love crazy.
We're
actually,
but we're crazy. We've chosen the path of the most resistance.
Which one's the hardest? Why am I spending so much time on this?
Another Christian mentor, amazing lawyer friend, he said the two hardest things you could do in life is choose to have kids and start a business. I've done both many times.
Also, choosing to move your family overseas is pretty hard too. I just have to throw that in there.
Thank you. Yeah, my wife will agree. Actually, she talked a little bit about it during our episode with the wives.
Oh, yeah.
Which we should have them on again and talk about all that
stuff. One went really well. So it turns out people want to see more of pretty faces. So
do you guys want to see our producer on a podcast? She's shaking her head, but I just did that to see if I can get her to react.
She just has to know ahead of time.
Yeah.
She could carry us.
Yeah, she probably could.
She'd probably tell us what.
I would actually like to have a podcast with our assistants to talk about how crazy it is to control crazy entrepreneurs. Because I'll tell you what, I think you could probably say the same thing. The people you choose to hire has a lot to do with the environment of success. Because
and the ones you choose not to let go.
Right.
I want to throw that in there.
So you and I both, like I know we have an amazing assistants, amazing people that run our business with us and for us. And if it wasn't for them, you and I probably wouldn't be on this podcast because we'd be too busy trying to do the thing. Am I right or right?
I mean, you're so right that there's like so many types of responses and I don't have time to like pick which response because.
So let's do that. Let's get Azaria and Kira on this podcast.
Okay.
Hey, producer, thumbs up if you're willing to do it. Thumbs down, up.
No.
We'll just get Kira on here.
Maybe if there's a steak or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or if there's a dog treat.
A dog treat or macaroni salad. Remember? She was eating that in front of me.
Well, that's just because you were hungry. That's why you remember
I was super hungry that day.
So, yeah, that's a good example. If you're a hungry person
Yep.
And you go in somewhere and the food smells good, you might be a little selfish and go crazy.
Here's something. We're gonna start bringing on more guests again. I know that we went through a whole season of having guests. We're gonna bring some more guests in. Now, I know that you're watching, and I know some of you that watch. If you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, it is still very affordable. We actually have a very good following now, locally, and we got a lot of good responses. I just impromptu throwing this out because I think we're at the point now where it's like, let's get some good people on here. Let's get them recognized. It'll help your business. Or if you want us just to read a script of what you do, we've done it a few times with some pretty amazing results too.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to be showcased on a podcast, maybe you're not ready to start your own, but you want to be showcased on one, and it's going to help you with just number one, being introduced to our network of people. And then number two, Facebook clips, reels.
Dude, all
I mean,
the
come
clips.
on, you need that. We're going to clip these things for you, send them over to you. That's part of the whole package of investing in coming on this podcast. If you're interested, put I want to be on your podcast in the comments, and we will have somebody reach out to you and tell you the investment for either being a guest on our show or reading your ad.
Yeah, so we'll have to manually look through and make sure that's in there, but also at the same time, look at the description, whatever one's easier, whichever way is easier for you. We'll make it convenient if you're showing interest. And then we can build an interest form and interview you or like see if it's a good fit for that to be on here.
For sure. Just make sure you have a good business and you're in good standing with.
Yeah.
We're not interested in showcasing people just to showcase them.
Dude, I've had those calls too.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, what are red flags for podcasters? And it's if they just want to be famous.
Yeah.
And
true.
That's when I'm like, nah, we're not the right.
Yeah. Well, because, I mean, the entrepreneurial experience is not about being famous. It's about value to our followers.
Yeah.
Really, it's about that. And secondarily, it's for us to brand ourselves. But mainly, it's for you who's watching and listening to give you that value. So we want to bring people along that will actually give you that value. We want to create the environment here at the Entrepreneur Experience so that when you're watching us or listening to us, we are now part of your environment that affects your mindset in a positive way, that causes you to want to take the right type of action so that way you're successful. Because success, there's a formula to that.
There's a formula for everything now.
There is. I mean, our formula is dreams times goals times learning times planning times act equals success.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
But again, I mean, I like to condense it down. Once you find all the right things to do it consistently over and over and over again and don't give up, right? But what will cause you to stay in the fight, although you want to give up on a daily basis, is your environment. Your mental environment, what you hear, what you think about, which podcasting like this can help. And the physical environment, the people you choose to stop hanging out with versus who you do hang out with, who you listen to versus who you don't listen to, you know?
And there's like a little bit of silent environment too, of like just meditation or prayer, or reflection. Like I feel like that's super important and always missed. So you don't always, like, as much as I want you guys to always listen to this podcast, you don't always have to have a podcast on. What if you turn off the music and the podcast and just
news.
think, like time of you thinking on your brand and company is very important.
Absolutely. Well, this is all some amazing stuff. I know we could spend hours, even days on mindset and environment.
So let's do it. Let's go for a day podcast world record. No, not yet.
I think Joe Rogan already took that one.
Yeah, they're always like 3 or 4 hours long.
This stuff is long, but I mean, he has content like crazy.
And it's usually like very, very like high, well-known profile people, you know.
Exactly. I mean, Joe Rogan, when you watch how he started, it's like, dude.
Like if the president came in and did an interview with us, well, I don't think I would want it to be a 20, 40-minute podcast.
No, I would want it to be hours. Just get as much as we can in there.
Yeah.
So anyways, look, guys, we appreciate you watching and listening. Just remember, you have everything that it takes. Control the things that you can control. Your environment's one of them. Your mindset is one of them. And most importantly, stay strong.
And keep doing the reps so you can keep on keeping on.